So we're going to solve these two-step linear equations that have fractions in front of the variable. So the first one here, we're going to get rid of the stuff that's on the same side of the letter but not touching it. That's the positive 3. So the opposite of adding 3, or the mathematical inverse, is to subtract 3. So we subtract 3 on both sides. And that's going to give us 5/7 x equals 5. Now we could divide both sides by 5/7 because this is 5/7 times x, and the opposite or inverse of multiplication is division. And if you do that, we'd have to do this carefully with your calculator. It's 5 divided by 5/7, and you would have to put parentheses around this, and it can get kind of messy. But for terms of Algebra 2, when you go on to it, you want to be able to multiply by the reciprocal. So we take the fraction, and when you flip it over, so we're going to multiply both sides by 7/5. Do note that 5 is the same thing as 5/1 because we can divide any number by 1 without changing it. So we multiply both sides by 7/5. And then when we multiply fractions, we go straight across. So it's going to be 5 times 7 over 1 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. And 1 times 5 is 5. And that would simplify down to be 7 as our answer. 35 divided by 5 is just 7. This next one, 5/6z plus 8 equals -9. Let's get rid of the stuff that's on the same side of the letter but not touching it. That's the positive 8. So the opposite or inverse of adding 8 is subtracting 8. Be careful with the negatives. -9 minus 8 is a -17. Then we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 6/5. And again, we can divide any number by 1 without not change it. So this is going to be -17 times 6 over 1 times 5. 17 times 6 is going to be 102, so we have a -102 over 5. Use your calculator, and that's going to give us -20.4. And again, for all these, we can check our answer by putting it into the original equation. So if we do that for this one, the 5/6z plus 8 better be -9 if we put in -20.4. So let's do that. So we're going to have 5/6, which means 5 divided by 6, times a -20.4, plus 8 should equal -9. We're going to use our calculator to check that. 5/6 times -20.4 is -17, and -17 plus 8 is a -9, so -9 equals -9, and we get the informal smiley face, which means we did it correctly. If you have any kind of questions, ask your math teacher.